Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a first impressions. That's why I'm coming to you barefaced, no makeup, because I thought that I would just jump right in. I'm going to try my hardest not to ramble on because I tend to do that. That's why I don't really do talk through videos and first impressions much because I just talk way too much. So what I'm going to try and do is just give you my first impressions on the product while I'm applying them. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to try and just do the recap and my final impressions on everything at the very end. We will see how that goes. So I had a lot of requests to do a look using the Physicians Formula and Holmes collab. So that is what I'm going to be using for my bronzer, blush, and highlight and my eyeshadow. And then I have a Wet n Wild foundation to try out, and I got a new shade of the Morphe concealer. If you watched my Valentine's drugstore looks, I wasn't really crazy about the Morphe concealer, but I did have the wrong shade, and that probably had a lot to do with it. So I did grab another shade to try out, so I'm gonna give it another try. So before I ramble on anymore for this, let's go ahead and get started. So the foundation that I was talking about is the Mega Cushion foundation from Wet n Wild. It has an SPF of 15 and it says it is a luminous, lightweight, and buildable hydrating formula. So it comes with a sponge whenever you first open it up. It's right here on top, but I am actually going to use my own damp beauty sponge, and then here is what it looks like. I just grabbed a color, and the one I got was Nude Beige, which is a light medium warm. Okay, so the color is really good, and it has, I would say, a light to medium. I'm not gonna build it all over just because I feel like every time I build a foundation I don't like it. So this has enough coverage for me, and yeah, it looks really nice. I love a dewy, glowy look, so I think that's why I gravitated towards this foundation. And I did add a little bit more around my nose because I get some redness around my nose, and I wanted a little bit more coverage like on my cheeks. So I did add a little bit there, but like my forehead was fine. So I did build it in a couple of areas, and it doesn't feel heavy. It feels really nice, and yeah, I really like it so far. So next I'm going to try the Morphe concealer again, but first I'm going to use my Tarte CC under eye corrector because that's how I normally do my under eye. So I'm going to go ahead and just add that first. So I just added some black gel liner to my lower waterline like I always do. So now it is time to start contouring and all that jazz. So I am bringing out the Physicians Formula and Holmes collab. This is the Butter Collection. And this is what it looks like. So I will be using the bronzer, blush, and highlighter, and then I will be using the eyeshadows, and then I will also use this lip as well. Hopefully that was in focus because it was in front of the whole screen, so I don't know if it's focused or not, so hopefully it was, and then y'all could see it. So I'm going to start off with the Butter Bronzer. got a little carried away on this side. And if you ever go too low, then you can always clean that with a highlighter, but you want to do a matte highlighter. So I'm actually going to do that because I got a little too low here. Got a little carried away, but that's good because I can show y'all how to fix it. So you just want to go right underneath to clean that up. And I didn't get too low on this side, but I want to match. So I'm still gonna go right underneath and just clean that up. So now I'm going to go in with the blush, still using that same palette. I'm really liking these colors. This will be really pretty in the summer too. Now for the fun part, highlighter, and this one looks very bright and I like it. But I don't know if y'all can see, but it is pretty glittery. So I always like to put highlighter down the center of my nose and the tip of my nose, but I don't want glitter on my nose, so I'm actually going to use this Milani highlighter. I also picked this up the same time I picked all the other stuff up, and it is in the shade 03 Sun Glow, so it's a really pretty gold. So that is what I'm going to use on my nose. So now I'm going to do the eyeshadow, and I have not even swatched these, so I don't know how this is gonna go. This is truly a first impressions. Hopefully it won't be too terrible. I do know the look I'm gonna do, but I don't know how pigmented the eyeshadows are. I don't know how dark they are. So we'll just see together. We'll find out together. So it's kind of hard because this palette is so huge. So I'm going to start off with this first above my crease as my transition color. This is the one I was really hoping isn't very dark. I'm going to use this one in my crease. I'm going to do this on my lid and then try this in the outer corner. So that is the plan. We'll see how it goes. And now I'm going to take the highlighter and just put it in the inner corner. And then I'm also going to drag it up on the lid as well in the inner corner. So I think I want this highlighter to be that the whole lid. But I still would have done that first shade I did on the lid as a base. Yeah, that looks really pretty. Before I do the green, I'm going to take that last shade. I used the darker one that I put in my crease, and I'm going to put that along the whole lower lash line. Now I'm going to try this green on the outer corner. I don't know how it's going to look. Like I said, I haven't tried this before. That green shade is not very pigmented at all. So what I think I'm going to do is go over the green with the crease color. I have an idea with the green now. See, this is why I should practice my looks before I do them on YouTube, but it's okay. I really like the highlighter on the lid like this. I think it's really pretty. So now for the green, I have a good idea. So what I'm going to do with the green is I'm going to line my lower waterline with it. That way I'm still using the green, I still have a pop of green, but it's not in the eyeshadow, if that makes sense. Okay, so I think it actually turned out pretty good. Like I said, if I would have practiced first. Since I'm already using mainly drugstore products, I'll go ahead and use this drugstore mascara that I used in my Valentine looks. It is the Essence Lash Princess. So I really liked this in my video, so I'm going to go ahead and put this one on. And to complete the look, I'm going to be using the Butter Lip Cream that came in the collection. This is the shade Pop the Bubbly, and it's a really pretty rose gold color, so I think it is just going to complement the look, and I think this will be really pretty kind of by itself in the summer with like a bronzy look. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this. So it's a little bit more metallic than I normally go for. I don't really like metallic lipsticks, but like I said, I think it would be really pretty with just a simple bronzy look for the summer, and it really does complement the eyeshadow, and yeah, I really like how this look turned out. Okay, so now I'm going to quickly go over everything, let you know my final thoughts. So I don't know, that foundation is kind of weird. When I first put it on, the color was great, but then as I wore it, it kind of felt like it got a little bit darker. But now that I'm looking at it, the color looks good again. So I don't really know what's going on with that. If it like changes colors then changes back, like I don't know what's going on with that. I do love the bronzer and blush. The highlighter as a highlighter I'm not really crazy about just because it's pretty glittery, but I love it for eyeshadow. The eyeshadows blended really nicely. The pigment was great except for the green, so the green wasn't very pigmented. Like I said, I have not watched any reviews or videos on this collection, so there may be a trick for the green, or there may not be. I may just have a dud, or it just may not be that pigmented. And the lipstick is really pretty. It's really creamy, it's not sticky, and I think it's a really pretty color. And as far as the Morphe concealer, I do like it a lot better now that I have my correct shade. Still not as good as Shape Tape, but I do think it is a good drugstore alternative if you don't want to spend $27 on a concealer, or you just can't spend that type of money on concealer. I totally understand that, so definitely give it a try. I don't think it's terrible. I'm not gonna say never, but I don't think anything will ever beat Shape Tape for me personally. That is just what works for me, what covers my dark circles best for me personally. So I really hope that y'all liked this video. I hope that it wasn't too chatty. I try and keep my videos not very long, and I don't want to talk too much because I don't want to bore y'all. But y'all wanted to see a first impressions on all this makeup, so I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and I would love for you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But I don't have anything else to say except thank you for watching, and until next time, bye y'all.